gamers should be using Opera GX. You can now set GX profile.
Listen, there's a good chance somebody's trying to hack your website right now. You gotta make sure.
Blah blah blah. There we go. All right. Microphone finally working again. Well done. All right. Welcome everybody. It's Maniac4Bricks with a screen. There's a screen. That is a screen I could actually use. Huh? Actually, yeah. Let me just pop myself in there. Uno momento. No. Nope. Come on. That's more like it. All right. Welcome everybody. Maniac4Bricks here with a live stream. I kind of snuck up on me this year, July 1st, 2023. It is the 11th year that I have been doing YouTube videos that I have been showing my Lego hobby very widely online and in other social medias as well, spreading from the YouTube channel. Very much looking forward to this. I basically for this live stream, it is intended to be a Q&A. So I'm willing to answer questions, mostly about the channel, the hobby, anything around those topics. Personal questions, it kind of varies. I should be willing to reject some of them if I find they're too personal or too irrelevant to the subject matter. I'm gonna get myself. Hold on. Whoop, one sec. Whoop. Yeah, it's more like it. All right, let's do this. So, I did open the floor not too long before the stream started. I'm still waiting to hear back from people if there's any questions out there. For some reason, Instagram, there's supposed to be a thing, and it's just not loading. It's been loading for like several minutes now. In the meantime, I could also throw out some little favorites, trivias, and things like that. A little bit of housekeeping stuff to start things out. I have been in the background working on a lot of different video projects, which have varying degrees of progress to them, and there are various degrees of either not Lego or Lego. One of those was actually supposed to come out in June because of reasons, and it did not come out in June because of reasons. But I will continue working on that video. There are plenty of videos that I've been working on even before June, and have been picked up and dropped off every so often, just trying to make things work, and also because I have other priorities to tend to. So I do apologize that some things have not been happening for some time, and that there are some things that will need to be continued. So I do want to still make stuff. That has not changed. I'm not leaving yet. I do have one video that I have been peeking through every so often, trying to make it work, trying to conceptualize what way do I want to go with it. But the main concept of it, I am very, very much excited for, and hopefully we'll see some of that either this week or within the next week. Because I don't think it's going to take too long to actually get it all together, and I think it'll be really fun and charming when I do. I do apologize that it did not make it for today, unfortunately. I don't think it'll, by any stretch of the imagination, could happen today, even if I have nothing else going on today, exactly, holding me back, other than, stuff at home or whatever. I don't want to work or a convention or anything that I have to go to. But there's still other things that, I still want to take care of. So, that video would actually be very fun, and I will let you know right now that video is a re-recording of sorts, almost a modern version of the history of Lego video. This is a video that I made on a VHS tape back in 2005 for a 5th grade project. If you have not been with the YouTube channel for a long time, this is basically my first Lego YouTube video. It just wasn't on YouTube. It was my first Lego video I've ever recorded, and was uploaded to YouTube much, much later, long into the channel's history. But once I was able to, get it digitized, thank you very much once again to Brixar, aka, what's his name? No, I'm trying not to use his actual name. Hold on. It's on the tip of my tongue. Well, Brixar. So, thank you very much to Brixar for helping convert that into digital format and being able to bring that onto YouTube. I still enjoy watching that video every so often. I actually showed it to someone the other day, and they liked the charm with it. And it's something that I wanted to, in a way, re-record. Not necessarily change too much of the details or the narration, but still cover the same basics of what the video's about. Maybe some updated visuals here and there, but the gist of it is I'm recording it now as a 28-year-old instead of when I was a 10-year-old. And, a little better diction and things like that. Maybe a little bit better camera work here and there. I don't mind if it even goes to the quality of I print out a bunch of pieces of paper with the titles of certain segments like in that original video, and tape them to the wall and then record across the wall, I would be fine with that. I think that would actually be amazing to do that way. And maybe just like the Lego visuals in the background might change, but still essentially building the same kind of stuff, But I do want to add a little bit in there, maybe a little, Easter eggs or something that might be a little bit more fun on this newer version. I would love to do an updated version, like if I was to do the history of Lego kind of video nowadays and from scratch. That would be a fun project, but that would be for some time later. That would take a lot more to come together and conceptualize. But for now, I'd like to do some sort of like re-recording of sorts. That's the best way I can phrase it, is re-recording of the history of Lego. Now, I can show that to you. That should still be available on the channel publicly, although it does say made for kids, so it may not come up in all the search results, but I will share it right here once I pull up the page. So give me one moment. Ooh, that's the wrong button. Here we go. In the meantime, enjoy a little bit more music.
Let's say you're writing an important email to your boss, but you don't know where to start.
I guess technically like 2 years ago I did some sort of commentary video on it, apparently. I cannot tell you what all happened in it, but it did happen. Let's see here. A little bit more. There we go. That's more like it. All right. In all of its VHS glory, the history of Lego from 2005.
Go by Joe Malusa. Lego is not just a toy. It is an idea, a set of values, and a long-term commitment to empowering children to use their creativity and build their imagination. In the beginning, Lego is made of wood. Old Kurt Christie Hansen was a master carpenter in Denmark during the Great Depression. In 1932, he decided to improve business by making wooden toys. In 1934, the toys were named Lego, which is a contraction of the Danish for play well. The plastic age. In 1958, the stud-and-tube coupling system for Lego bricks was patented. Following a fire in the warehouse of wooden toys, the company concentrated all its resources on the plastic Lego brick. Lego Duplo. In 1969, big bricks for tiny fingers called Duplos were launched. They are 8 times bigger than regular Lego bricks. In 1974, Lego people were created. By 1998, 2.3 billion of these minifigures had been made. In 1977, Lego Duplo people came out. The modern world, 1980s and beyond. The company focuses on education, creating a division called Lego Dacta. Motorized mechanical models could be controlled via computer. Licensed products bearing the Lego name, such as clothes, books, and accessories, came out in addition to products from the Lego Media division, such as computer software, VHS videos, DVDs, and video games. All represent the company's values of play and safety, and are of the highest quality. The Legoland Parks. Lego theme parks are in Denmark, 1958, England, 1996, and Legoland in California, 1999. Minilands of New York, Washington, D.C., and New Orleans can be seen in California. Over 30 million Lego bricks have been used to make more than 1,000 models that appear in the park. Just imagine. This model suggests that with Lego elements, it is possible to create anything you can dream of. Possibilities are endless. Better building, more fun. This is the new motto of Lego. I hope you enjoyed my presentation on the history of Lego. Happy building! This has been a Joseph Melissa production.
Man, that hits me every time. Every time. I am having the stupidest big grin on my face. I'm glad there's no cam on. Just watching that again, and just carefully but very very much struggling with some of the diction or reading. I was reading it from a script. I was not just coming off the cuff with it. There was an actual script, and I bless me. I tried my hardest, and I would love to do the exact same script, at least some similar visuals. Some things will probably be updated, like the Duplo things, for example. I don't have a lot of my original Duplo collection anymore. I use those for an Eagle Scout project, which I believe I made a video about, if I remember correctly, on the channel a long time ago. And actually would have been about a month or so around the same time that this YouTube channel started. So that's fun. But the Duplo thing would be updated because there'd be different, pieces or figures being used. The Lego Dacta thing, I actually have a Lego Dacta set, so that can be more improved because the visual I used for that in there, as you see, was a Lego Technic set. And Technic and Dacta, they're not exactly the same. They're, you know, one can live without the other. For the video games, it would be fun to obviously have more spurst out of video games and all the merchandise and media, obviously. The wooden Lego, you know, I have wooden Lego. I have authentic wooden Lego that existed back then. Even if it's below fix, it still counts. So yeah, I think a whole bunch of things would be fun to upgrade visually from that, as well as, you know, obviously doing my now 28-year-old voice in writing it or in articulating it. So yeah, that's fun. And yeah, I would have a very fun time working through that as an upgraded version of sorts. Obviously, I could do an even further upgraded version and talk more about the history of Lego, but I think it would take a lot longer in order to do that. There would be other areas of it that I'd like to talk about, and some of it is basically bizarre Lego territory, where it's like, you know, an experimental thing, but does have roots into what we do today. So yeah. Bizarre Lego itself, that's actually a good subject to bring up here. So, originally, I had the plan that Bizarre Lego would rerun as a Kickstarter in August of 2023. And this would launch alongside the attendance of Brick Fair Virginia. So, as soon as the convention starts, the Kickstarter would be going, and that would mean I would have to announce it right now, you know, to give you some prep time. The thing about it is, because of some recent complications in terms of travel, I may not be able to bring anything much for Bizarre Lego to Brick Fair, Virginia. Originally, the plan with it was that I'd have some videos out, I'd have this, you know, this launching thing and be like, oh, you know, in a month we're going live and things like that. As of this past week, there have been some car troubles, and therefore I cannot bring an entire carload of stuff to Brick Fair, Virginia, in order to have a mini table set up for Bizarre Lego items. The kind of thing that Brick Fair, Virginia and other Lego conventions have had before. They would have some sort of historical display. And I've done a Bizarre Lego display before on its own without book solicitation or anything like that. At another Brick Fair in Brick Fair, New Jersey. The last one in Brick Fair, New Jersey, a few years ago. Now, if there's a way for me to work in the table part of it so that it can be a visual, in-person thing, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, I would need to reduce what to bring, and, you know, depending on the travel method, you know, only could bring certain things that could be packed into a suitcase or luggage or something in order to, you know, travel with it, be it flight or otherwise. And then, you know, set that up for a table, mention about it, you know, as a Kickstarter going live, that there's all these kinds of items and things like that that will be featured in the book and more like that. So I'd love to make that happen. I still, this is a plan that I've had pretty much since the beginning of the year that I've been working towards in the background of everything. Unfortunately, because of the recent developments, you know, the driving option is finicky, and therefore the table setup, I won't be able to bring as much stuff. So I'm still working on that. Hopefully will have some update about that real soon in order to talk more about it. It is possible I could just go to the very minimum of, I'm going to have a button on my shirt that says, ask me about Bizarre Lego or something. I don't know. I don't want to go to that point because I feel like it should have a little more visual representation, you know? Something better to understand the concept of it and hopefully get the word out there so that the Kickstarter will perform very well. You know, obviously doing it through Brick Fair, Virginia, throughout that time, I'll be interacting with a lot more Lego fans, so I would obviously have more about that to talk about in person and make that happen. So for now, details to follow, but hopefully very soon have an answer or more of an announcement about it. But I am looking forward to still talking with people at Brick Fair, Virginia in one way or another, that this will be happening, that this Kickstarter will be, will restart itself and hopefully reach its goal. It has been reduced. The initial goal for it has been reduced from the previous campaign that I had done before, and hopefully that means it'll be much more accomplished than previously. There was also a lot more visual representation that will go into the Kickstarter this time around. More of the mock-ups of how the book will look, what kind of things will be in the book, and, the kind of pages and visuals you would experience in there. Although, like I said, they are still in development, but they're still a better idea for people to understand what this book is about and what its goals are. So, I'm very much looking forward to that. I am hoping to get more information soon to you about all of that, and let's make it happen. I want to see Bizarre Lego happen at all, and especially now with more, with a more proper time to it. But I've just been holding back on discussing it up to this point, and then working through hurdles to keep it rolling. So, looking forward to more about that in the near future. I will keep in touch with you about that. So, Bizarre Lego, for those who don't know, is a book that I've been writing since 2017, on and off, while doing YouTube, while doing other things. This is a major research project for my hobby, and a big source of information that is more obscure and trivial about Lego, of experimental products, different developments of Lego things, that, with some of the things we see today, could trace back to this or have roots in this in some way or shape or form. The kind of products that don't get a lot of highlight and sometimes live in infamy in the Lego community, but now on its own, showcase, on its own platform of sorts, as a book that can be read. The plan for it has always been to make it as a physical book as well as a digital copy, and therefore, easier to access. I've still been working with my publisher through, many years, and even earlier this year, on the production aspect of it, for what goals need to be met and how much of it can be, distributed and things like that. The goals are still being reworked as far as the different tiers on Kickstarter, just to be sure that, again, there's a visual representation to that and understand what's going into it, even as mock-ups and things like that go. So there will be more information about that separately as its own video, but hopefully very, very soon. But this is kind of our announcement here. Yes, this is happening. This will be happening again. The page will be developed a little bit more. So I will link to that later today in the description and other social media, so that you can find out more information and hopefully follow the page for its relaunch in later this month, about June 30th, because June 30th I will be going to Brick Fair, Virginia, so that's when I officially think it would begin for me, and hopefully you will follow along and help support it and pick up your own copy of all the information I've gathered over the years. If it's one thing about the Lego hobby that I have specialized in over other people, it's Lego obscure product knowledge, and I am proud of it. I am still happy to share about it. I know there are people who are looking forward to this book, have been looking forward to this for a long time. There are people who have been, what's the word? There are people who also share this niche aspect of Lego with me, and I always am happy to share information back and forth with them. So, we all want to see this thing through. It is not going to be a definitive collection of every piece of Lego trivia or obscure product ever. There are plenty of them that have been hard for me to obtain. There are plenty of them that are hard for anyone to obtain. There are some of them that I've been lucky to obtain that I didn't even know it would still be readily available, and was able to pick up over the months. So, having that included in there is very cool. So I'm doing my best with it. It is in a sort of volume 1. There will be updates to the book itself later on, whether a volume 2 or just an expanded edition, guaranteed, because there's a lot more information that I could always dive into, from every aspect of colors to minifig evolution to all kinds of things. There have been things I have been hunting out of my way to find, and even then could still use more supplemental material in a future volume. So I am very much looking forward to it, not just as one book, but as a continually updating book over time. So I want this thing to be the best it can be. I want this thing to be received well with everyone who enjoys Lego and everyone who has also been a part of this community and part of following me over these 11 years and so. And yeah, I am I'm excited. I'm very, very excited on this. And I know I don't have a visual element for it right here, but like I said, I will update it about that very, very soon when the Kickstarter is live, or when it is available to be, what you call it? You know, to follow the page and everything. So, we will get to that sometime soon. I'm going to check back in here if there's any other questions on the places where I asked about questions. Okay. That's funny. It's not a question, but I like it. Let me check in the chat for a moment. Cyber the Wolf, thank you for joining. I'm sorry I didn't look earlier. I usually have the dual screen set up, and I would see the chat at the same time, but unfortunately didn't set it up that way for this stream. So my apologies. Catching up here on Pizza 101. Thank you for joining in as well. A was that year? I'm not sure what you mean. I want to stick little tables on Lego blocks and attach people to Lego sets. Okay. Not sure exactly what you meant there, but I appreciate it nonetheless. What would you say is the percentage complete of Bizarre Lego? So, the photographing that I have right now is not super pristine. It has been mostly worked on now for a lot of mock-up to get a better idea for not only the publisher but also for the Kickstarter. But as far as the writing's good, like over 90% done. Maybe a little bit of like grammar proofreading here and there, citations, indexing, and things like that, you know, because I want to make this a very thorough book to read through. And like, if you scroll back, you can find certain elements or topics, you know, very easily going back through the book. So the photographing has always been a hurdle because I don't have a professional photography background or setup at home. I don't even have a professional camera in order to make, you know, pristine photos. So the mock-up photos for right now will suffice for getting the idea across, but because of the Kickstarter will help with actually getting a more proper photographic presence for it, you know, that I could hire somebody or whatever to get a better setup in order to take all the photos and be able to insert them into the book more vividly. I would say at this point, yeah, about the entirety of the book, it's about 90% done. There are still a few other illustrations that need to be worked on, such as the cover of the book. We've been working with that one for quite some time. A few of the visuals throughout the book, kind of more like graphics. For example, like there's a 2-page spread about the minifigure timeline of different elements and upgrades to minifigures over time. So like, you know, like the more recent example of like, you know, a minifigure that can have 4 hands on 2 arm sockets. You know, something like the recent Stitch from Disney 100. He's the second example for that, but there are plenty of other examples beforehand of, you know, 4-armed minifigures like Frenzy from Space Police 3 or Garmadon from Ninjago that work into it. So taking photos of a lot of those figures as well needs to be done, but also the graphic of just showing the lineage, you know, line through the whole thing, you know, to make it very easy to follow. That still needs to be worked on, you know, that kind of stuff. So, like, yeah, 90% I would say that it's done, and very, very happy with how it's going. Still trying to perfect a few things, especially when it comes to the Kickstarter for the extra tiers of rewards, just so those can be put into production and getting out things like the postcards, the t-shirts, those kinds of rewards that I had tried to do beforehand. I still want to bring over, but now having a better visual element to them so that you can, you know, see what is coming up with those. Question here from Honest Work, Reasonable Pay. Nice name. Are you worried about bringing valuable bizarre Lego merchandise to conventions? Yeah, that has been a concern a couple of times. So when I had brought a lot of it to Brick Fair, New Jersey, I think that was 2020? Somewhere like that? I can actually bring it up here for how the display looked. BFNJ 19? No, it had to be later than 19. Let's see here. Meadow. Okay, there we go. I'm checking through my photos right now, and I'll bring it up on screen in just a moment when I'm ready to go. That can't be good. 2021. Okay. That makes more sense. So, the last Brick Fair, New Jersey was held in Meadowlands Exposition Center in Secaucus, New Jersey in September of 2021. And where did the photo go? I thought I just had it. Pardon me. Oh, yeah, I gotta go through those photos too. That's a separate that's a separate project. Let's go a little further back. Wow. Yeah, I thought I actually took more photos. Okay. My bad. So let me bring it up here on a separate screen, and then I'll show you here. Boom. There we go. So this is a little bit of an awkward photo because it's on a corner. Technically, it was like an L-shaped display. Like, it goes around onto this side, but also walking, you know, in front of it here, for a lot of the items on display. I was cautious about this. This is the first time I had fully done a bizarre Lego display at a Lego convention, and I had talked about it in advance of people who, you know, could be willing to contribute to this or even monitor some of these items along with me. And I did have one person contribute one item into it, which was returned to them. It was carefully watched over when they weren't around. But a lot of this stuff, there's some of it provides a weird window about the value of them. Because on one hand, they are obscure, they are hard to find, and you would think that would dictate they would be super expensive. Some of these things I actually didn't get for that much money. Like the red Duplo truck up here, I've bought for $5 before. From like OfferUp, Let's Go, or whatever it's called. One of those kinds of yard sale websites, you know? Like Facebook Marketplace kind of thing. And that's technically a hard thing to find out in the wild if you know what it is. Bricklink actually has a listing for it as a catalog item, but forbids it from sale because it is a product recall. It is a product that actually had wheels that would break off of it. They basically unscrewed, one rolling back and forth, and the exposed metal axle could puncture someone in play. So that is one of the few product recalls LEGO has publicly announced, and is still available. If you look on the LEGO website under customer service, you'll find a section about it, and it'll just document it as history. So, and basically they also promote that, oh, we haven't had a product recall since 2012 or whatever, 2009, whatever the case was. But like, there have also been subtle things that have changed, and there have been product errors that would get a reissue. They just don't fall under like super hazardous, the child safety or anything like that, national news kind of product recall kind of stuff. But yeah, if you're in the know, this is not an easy thing to find because most of them were recalled, so they wouldn't be available as much. Part of the recall, you had to, submit this thing with or like even the tags on it or writing on the truck itself and things like that in order to remove it, so you don't already keep this product that could be dangerous. I actually had one when I was a kid, and it was not dangerous. I did not have any problems with it, but my parents, knowing the recall, still followed through with it, and I do not have my original copy anymore. I now own 4 of these things. And like I said, in very subtle terms, over the years, I have been hunting these things down. So, the first time was like red Duplo Lego truck or something like that. And that's how I was able to find it for like $5. And then, and this is back in like 2017. And similar search terms, but very vague terms, so that made it hard to find as well. But some people, they just didn't know, or they didn't really pay any mind to it, of, its history, its infamy. So it was easier to find. Going to eBay, you could look it up by the name of the set, you could look it up by the set number, and it will run a bit higher. And even the box that the set was included with, the actual Duplo pieces, they were not part of the recall. They were perfectly fine. They were not hazardous. I did keep those for much longer, originally, when I was growing up. But finding those pieces, they're very common pieces. So finding the box sealed, I paid about $40. And I have opened the box. I did open the components and build what was in there. There were no instructions. I was a little disappointed on the unboxing, not gonna lie. And I do have a video of it. I just haven't published the video because it's gonna work it into a larger video. But yeah, that is the thing. So so that's one where it's like, it's technically not valuable because some people will sell it dirt cheap, but it is hard to find. And then if you're in the know of what the thing is and you search for it more specific terms, yeah, the price can go up. Like, I've seen some of these $40, $80 sometimes, and that's without the Duplo pieces. There's just the truck on its own. And that's varying condition as far as like the stickers on it. The stickers would definitely drive up the value more, especially the sticker on the back of it, because that was the one you had to bring to get the product replaced. Something like that. Some of these other things in here, this Lego video game, this is the first Lego video game ever made. This was released exclusively in Japan. It's called Fun to Build. It's for the Sega Pico, 1995. This thing is stupidly expensive. I got mine around $30 on eBay in like 2017, 2018, something like that. I forget exactly when, but I know I have photos and video or something back then of playing it. And nowadays, runs over $300 if you try to find it online. And I've actually seen other copies of this show up in the wild, but never to the price that I found it originally. So I'm glad this thing works. I'm glad that I still have all the components with it. It does have a chip on the side of the box, but I do still have the plastic chip. It doesn't really affect any of its usage. It's just like, oh, well, that's kind of a bummer. I don't exactly remember how it happened, but I do remember it was already taped on there. I think it arrived like that. So I just kind of dealt with it. But replacing that would be stupidly hard. So but that's the thing, again, it's obscure, so the average Lego fan wouldn't know of this. And I've actually brought this to a convention before where somebody asked me if I made this, if I programmed and created this game myself. And I'm like, no, this is a real thing. I did not make this. But for people who do know what this thing is and what it's worth, yeah, I'd be very cautious moving this thing around. There's a couple of other things in here. They're not stupidly expensive or stupidly valuable, even if they're already used. They're not too bad. It would just be harder to replace some of them. The Outer Space CD here, it took me a while to find it, and I am very cautious on using this one. Like, even as a CD. It's this very unusual CD shape that, like, you know, it's not a full circle CD. It actually has a big cut around it to shape it like a UFO mask piece from Lego Space. I have used this thing in the computer. It has run fine, but I don't want to use it too much in the computer to play music or even burn music, because I don't want this thing to get scratched because of its unusual shape. Didn't know if it was going to spin properly or for a long period of time, and therefore, you know, the thing gets chopped up. It's not even like it has a transparent, you know, layer to it or anything to make it still a big circle at the end of it. No, you would hold the thing and it's smaller than that. It's more rectangular, if anything. That one I cautiously found through eBay years ago. There was a listing that had it from some kind of bookstore website, you know, that had an eBay store. It didn't have an image with it. It did describe the CD, and I'm like, okay, it's not that much money. Maybe I'll take a shot with this, and if I don't get it, then it's not out a lot of money. But if I do get it, hell yeah. And it was that, hell yeah. But yeah, this skateboard, this Lego Island skateboard, I still have that still in the wrapping. And that thing is like $300 or more. Luckily, I didn't get it for that much. And there are other Lego skateboards that I've gotten for less than that as well. With a similar level of obscurity and possibly even worse of value. There's one or two of them that I have, I forget which one, but one of them at least is not even documented online or very vaguely documented, so it's kind of hard to determine the value of it. I've actually seen that from other Lego conventions before, where people will have items that are so obscure that even the biggest Lego databases, like Brickset or Bricklink, don't have a listing for it. They don't have an entry for what this thing is. So it's kind of hard to be like, well, what's it worth? Nobody knows what it is, so you could charge a buttload of money if you wanted to, because who else has it around, you know? If more of them are in the market, the price is going to go down, obviously. But even when I bought this skateboard, there was like 3 or 4 of them, and one of them in very worn condition, but even that was still fetching quite a bit of money. Especially because it's like, well, if you look up Lego Island merchandise, yeah, this is a pretty prized thing. And still, of the ones that were made, I don't know what the actual quantity of them are, and the fact that they are still around is something to behold itself. So, I was very cautious about this table display. This has definitely been the widest of Bizarre Lego display I've done, but luckily everything made it back home safely. Nothing was taken from the table. I did have one person midday during the convention who was grabbing something at the table, even though there's these banisters on, you know, both sides of it. I made sure that they didn't actually take anything. It's like, this is not a pamphlet, sir. This is part of the display. Please do not touch. And there were do not touch signs on here as well. Not showing in this photo at this moment, but they were there. They did exist. So, yeah. I do want to do something for Brick Fair, Virginia. I may have to talk with some people to figure out how to rearrange it in terms of, you know, my transportation changing, and what kind of things I could bring. But I would still like to have something for Bizarre Lego to talk about at Brick Fair, hype it up from my own mouth, and hopefully from other people's as well who know it, and get the ball rolling on the book being a real thing. You know, it's been sitting in the burner for too long, and I've been really itching to get this thing finally created with the right community support. So there's my 10-page essay on answering your question. But yeah, a lot of really cool stuff in here, by the way. Where do I want to go next? I could also go through some of my favorite LEGO videos that I've uploaded to the channel. That is a thing that I don't think I've necessarily done. I don't think I've done like a highlight reel or anything for the YouTube channel to be like, here's the best moments of... Well, I guess technically I've done that on a yearly basis before, but it would mostly get shrouded over by like a backing, soundtrack or whatever, and be presented almost more like a music video or a montage sort of thing. So there's that. I like the shooting gallery videos. This is a fun idea that I had way back. Yeah, 2017. I had this idea during the summer of using Lego water guns to knock over Lego figures. And I even evolved it beyond that in the third entry to I think it was like Lego like Nerf guns or foam guns and things like that. So here's the first installment. Still working out the video editing quality, of course, with like how much of the screen takes up each of these things. I'm doing it in slow-mo, classic YouTube fashion. I love how I landed in there. That was fun. And this is them as they fall off the table. Literally just another angle just to get them like in the pool. I love it was just my sig pick landing on the edge of the pool. Oh boy. And squirt. Boop. So that video actually didn't have any of the Lego water guns in it. The second installment does. It was mostly of just hitting the minifigures with a water gun, not necessarily the water gun. But it's still a fun one. Trying to think, what else was a really good video I put out? I might even have a playlist of them. I don't know if the playlist is on the channel. Yeah, that was recorded early July and then published in July 17th, yeah. Why is that unlisted? Get that back up there. Let the people see it. The other ones are up there. This one actually has a fun montage. So I'll just script that portion of it because it is still a review and then does the montage at the end of it, but I know it's sloppy. The beginning part of it has the whole thing at the time that happened where I was trying to have more than one character to the channel, but it's still portrayed by me, that kind of stuff. But because of my editing skills, it actually meant that some of the footage was not properly cut, and therefore it would only show up like halfway for some things in the video itself. If I skip forward a bit... Oh, this is when I was working on Brick Theory at the same time. So like a tease of another video. Come on. Bring it up there. I'm going to skip over some of the talking. See, yep, I got me in here twice. Two sort of different characters, but very similar. But like, basically it's like a character for different interests that I have. But the problem was, I had this footage recorded, so I would basically, I've considered doing it more. 2017, I did this a whole bunch of times. I actually did this for a thing in October called Oddtober, and basically having some kind of conflict with each of these characters. That's like one that specializes in Lego, one that specializes in video games, and one that specializes in other nostalgic toys that I grew up with, things like Hot Wheels or board games and things like that. All fighting for control of the channel, basically throwing the Lego aspect of it away, and then trying to quote unquote trick the the YouTubers or the people watching the videos into any of the videos that appeared that month. They weren't Lego reviews, they were of knockoff Lego products, or not even knockoff necessarily, but just other building brands not labeled as Lego, not officially genuine Lego. That's the whole like mystery element of it, is like, oh, if we show things that aren't Lego, then the Lego aspect will push to the side, and then we'll go on to the the video game stuff being the reigning video content for the channel. I still want to make video content, and I still have been trying for years and years beyond that to do like more video content about video games and other toys and things like that. The balance between them has always been difficult, as well as the expertise of creating the videos. So this was kind of in that phase. This was basically the summer right before that happened, but still introducing the characters. Problem was that when I recorded this video, I had a camera that was set up on my dashboard, and I would sit in one seat. I would be one character, and then record all the lines I needed to, allow some spaces in between, and have some dead air so that the other character could talk, basically. And then I would what's the word? And then I would swap costumes. I think you can actually see it peeking out of the shirt here. There's a little light blue peeking out of this shirt. That's for this character on the left. How clever. How deceitful. Look at that. They're like two different people now. The problem was when I recorded both of these and then I overlay it so that one of the videos sits on top of the other, but then I have a big cut down the middle so it looks like they're both sitting at the same time. That meant anything I showed in frame that would go across that median would get cut. So you don't see the full package for this Lego water gun as I would have liked to. Because that was... I mean, even if I laid it the other direction, it still would have been a problem cutting it there. No matter which of these was over the other one. That's still having the dividing line. I would have had to make that line further over here or something, but then they would cut into his shoulder, so it would look like he's less there. That kind of stuff. That was a problem. And I totally understand this video doesn't completely hold up because of that specific editing technique. I did not figure out a way around it at the time. So yeah, unfortunate. I do still have the packaging, so I could always reshoot the video and show the whole thing. It's already opened, but it still get the idea. And similar thing happened with this one. This is already opened, therefore, I still have the package, but you don't see the whole thing here. So this one I believe was brand new sealed when I did the video. Like, when I started recording this... Let me see if I can go back to it. Find the right spot. There we go. This was brand new, sealed in the package. I still have the package. I still have the plastic over it. And I could still record this again, even though it's already been opened and used. I don't think my opinion of it would really change after that. So... later in the video, this is basically like a lot of this is just a description of all these different products, of like their release, their their creation through Busby Toys, and things like that, and then basically going through the functions of them, after they were opened out of the packages. So if I go back a little, or if I go over a little bit more, then this part should be the montage right around here. So I'll let that one play. It does have some music in the background.
Road.
This is using some of the soundtrack from the Lego Movie video game with Angry Kitty. Just to make it seem more badass. I am very happy with this montage, by the way. And I like the slow motion with it to really get the sense of like how each of them work differently. It could have been a little faster though, I will give it that. So the aquarators run, you can shoot in a stream or little spurts, like just by, you know, letting go of the trigger. You have the Bionicle one, or the Bionicle one that basically, it streams two things, but you could switch it to either have a steady stream forward, or it twists around it. And then the Atlantis one, it's little spurts. Yeah, I've been meaning to make another recap video for the past year. And I had some idea for it. I lost a little bit of footage and the background music. I am still working through trying to fit that in with everything. I do want to do another recap video, and it's just, yeah, I'm sorry I don't always get them out as New Year's-y as I used to. But I would still like to do one for 2022. I think I did there's one of them that I combined years. I think 2020 and 2021 was combined. So yeah, I'm only up to one left to do. And technically, you know, we're halfway through this year. I would still have that one to make as well. But I still want to upgrade things as I make those videos as well, you know, like something about the music video-esque nature of them, you know, to keep that going. I'm going to drift over to Brick Theory now, because that was a major accomplishment for my channel. This was a completely unique idea. I don't think other channels had done this up to this point, or if they had, I have not known about them before that. But back in 2015, I created this video that was about basically like analyzing, you know, who's the fastest Lego builder in the Lego Movie. And I just thought it would be a fun thing, because it's like I've played around with the idea of speed building before. I remember competing with the Brick Show on their videos, and not necessarily they competed with me or anything, but like they published theirs and I would publish mine sometime after, you know, documenting the time that it took me to build a Lego set or something. Just for fun. Not any major competition with it. Is this the finished version? It says private. So it must be the other one. Yeah, that's it. So this was a fun video. And I think, yeah, so this is the one that has the updated intro to it. Oh, I just saw that right now. I gotta reduce the size of this a little bit. Let's see if that's better. Does that work? Not quite. Let me see if it works better if I just open it up separately. Kind of. Let me try there. Maybe that's good. Now, the intro was actually made by Braxels. He did a stop motion, you know, with this whole brick wall thing with an alternate version of my sig fig. And basically, you know, I followed suit afterwards. I basically gave him the idea for it, and there was a longer version of this intro that was created with stop motion that I worked on later. I had a large table that was covered with extra large base plates, building the entire set of it, moving lamps around, leaning on different sides of the table to try to get all the little details in there. It was fun to return to stop motion for a bit, because I had done that in the early days of the channel.
Maniac4Bricks, and I am here today with Brick Theory, where we have bricks on the mind all around the block. See what I did there? Instead of clock? Well, speaking of clock...
The corniness never stops.
Speed building is a competition in which participants must build a LEGO model in the shortest time possible. This was previously held as an event
Just
at
listen to
LEGO
that background
stores
music.
and conventions, and often focused on large-scale LEGO sets, such as the UCS Millennium Falcon. One example, as
I could show more
Brick Show,
visuals, but I
includes a
didn't.
competition to break the Guinness
I
World
edited all
Record
this on a
for building
phone.
the Tower Bridge set in less
And a lot of
than 1 hour
screenshots.
and
I had to
25
crop them.
minutes. But did you know that speed building is common in the LEGO world too?
And that Brick Show
Many
video
figures
isn't
are able
even
to fast build
live
LEGO
on
video
YouTube
games
anymore because
and
the Brick Show
even in the
channel
LEGO movie
had been
in
removed.
real time, not time-lapsed. But how fast can minifigures build? Today we'll find out who is the speed champion of building from the LEGO movie cast. Before we get started, I'll lay down my research methods. By using the LEGO movie, I was able to track several minifigures building movie-to-set
This is a fun
accurate
visual.
LEGO models.
I like this.
Wildstyle building the getaway glider and the supercycle, Benny building the spaceship, and Emmett building the double-decker couch. Yes, plenty of other characters built quickly in the movie, but they are hard to track how many pieces assembled over a period of time, since we don't have complete physical copies of those models in real life. This leads me to
At least
how
for most of them.
competitors' abilities will be based. The number of pieces used to build a model over the
Just
time
opened up,
it was
like,
being shown
an
built in the
iPod
movie,
note
that would
document
give us
to
a
make
rate of
this.
building speed.
I remember
By
this.
using official
I remember
LEGO
everything about
instructions
this.
of these movie
I remember
accurate
sitting in the
sets,
car
as well as
editing
the
this with
brick set part
headphones
count of each
on the
set,
way to my
we're able to
brother's
determine the
college
exact number of pieces
graduation.
in each model and eliminate the pieces used for the figures and other models in each set.
I already did
Now
the
that our
recording and
research
everything,
methods are
and
clarified,
visuals already
it's
had all
time
that
to
stocked
build.
on my phone or whatever
Starting with
before that.
Wildstyle, she built
But,
her
like-
alleyway supercycle with 214
And, like,
pieces
drawing
in about
around it.
33 seconds of
Oh
film
my
time.
gosh.
For this model, Wildstyle built at a rate of 6.48 pieces per second. For her getaway glider, she built faster when being chased by a bad cop. It took her 6 seconds to assemble 59 pieces, boosting her
Oh, I
speed
carefully
building
counted the
rate
pieces
to
too.
9.8
I took
pieces
out the
per
other
second.
parts of the set for the
That's
getaway
1.5
glider, so it
times
didn't,
faster
you know,
than the
there's the
supercycle.
exact piece
You
count
better
of the
watch
model.
out, though. As empty
And
as
no
Emmett's head
minifigs.
is, he built the double-decker couch in 6 seconds, but with 113 pieces. That's twice as many pieces in the same time as the getaway glider, but to a higher rate of 18.8 pieces per second. Is it disqualifying, though, that half of the couch rose from a void instead of being put together by pieces? Then again, is it considered speed building when someone built it in their head instead of with actual pieces? It is true, the mind often
I love
runs
that
faster in
face.
function than the body, so...
That, like, citizen brick and neutral
Anyways,
face
our
for
last
Emmett.
contestant
It
is
works so
Benny.
well.
After lots of patience in the movie, he built his spaceship in 6 seconds of screen time with 8.
If anything, this is actually a good, like, element of showing there's not a lot of actual building in the Lego movie. The original Lego movie is, you know, it's really good, but the actual process of putting things together it only happens like a few times,
for the speed building in the Lego movie.
only a few times beyond
Now
this.
we're brought to our final conclusion. It's fun to build fast.
I tried to
when
make
you
the
know
thinking
what to make
statue out of
from
Lego.
instructions. But it's incredible that Benny, Wildstyle, and Emmett were able to build on the spot in urgent situations and make some functional models. Well, some of them. Double-decker couch. Still, even with instructions on hand, I don't want to take 3 hours to build what Benny built in 6 seconds from scratch. That's our theory for today. Join us next time for more Brick Theory. And thank you for watching.
The graphic at the end with the BT, I had, I think that was by, I'm trying to remember. There's one of two artists that created that. Let me look at it again. The top portion here was Dan Solo Designs. I don't remember what he goes by now. I think it's Reign of Toys now. The B and the T themselves were created by Maniac4Bricks, aka Brick Wizard. Not the same Brick Wizard that is available nowadays. First name Felix. I don't remember what he goes by now, or if he still has a presence online or in the LEGO community. But still appreciated both of these in creating some new graphic. I actually used to make end cards as like a photo, and then providing enough space around it. So in Microsoft Paint, I would just put like a few thumbnails or something, maybe a few social media transparent background logos or something. And then in the video when it uploaded, I would try to like fill that in with the end screen, annotations or whatever you call those cards. So that's why Game Theory is here. They had a Lego Jurassic World video at the time. So I was like, oh, that's similar to what I've, that's, Game Theory and Super Carlin Brothers, a couple of other channels that I follow, back then and even to this day, to some degree. They were part of the inspiration for me to do Lego fan theories and Lego fan theory videos. But this was an exhaustive effort. I had tried a little too hard going into this thing and trying to collaborate with people in order to make it a bigger project. But if I really just stuck with it as it was and made more content based around brick theories, I probably would have done much better. And I still have made other videos, and very sporadically. At this point, it's almost like one per year. I've tried to get more than that the past couple of years, and I have plenty of material. It's just, how do I make them visually better than what I've already done before? Or, by what degree can I make them better so that they can be more visually appealing and things like that. I'd still like to do them, and I still have plenty of ideas for what to do with brick theories. But they do take more time than other videos that I've published, on average at least, to put out there. This one I actually really enjoyed, which I think is the second to last one that I put out. And then, yeah, so this one I actually tried to publish, and then there were no visuals when it rendered. So I had to go back, redo it, and then it published later in the same year. I was kind of bummed about that. But it did turn out to be a good video. There are very few videos I can honestly say they do work, and they do hold some better ground than others. These Brick Theory videos, some of them do work better. The Brickster one was a phenomenal success. Even when I had it as a separate channel for Brick Theory, phenomenal success. And I don't know why. It was a weird lightning in a jar kind of thing that I could not figure out, like, how do I keep up with this? It almost gave me a pressure that, like, I'm glad people like this, but how frequently do I have to keep making videos where I don't have a lot of, turnaround to make that kind of stuff? And I still like to, again, work on these things, but I also want to make them in a more decent pace. So the Braxels intro, I actually reanimated myself in stop motion. Similar setup and everything like that. And this is with the fuller stop motion intro. This was a fun one to make. Not that I wouldn't go back to stop motion. I would be very picky as to which things I would visualize with it and not make like a full video out of it, because that's hard. This was actually a carefully thought through concept map for the connections of LEGO themes between Easter eggs, different media, whatever the case may be. If there was a way that the two things connected, it was documented on here. And it wasn't even finished. And there was a concept map I did create on computer with a very low quality that's hard for me to read nowadays. And it's infinitely more than that now. Even with other LEGO themes, even if there's not a lot of new LEGO IPs, there's still a lot more things out there. Where like, oh, you can, connect Bionicle and Harry Potter together because one of the Hogwarts castles had a thing in it. Or, there's more Easter eggs in Ninjago because of the Ninjago City series, and things like that. Or like Hidden Side, having a whole bunch of different things from Rescue to Bionicle again, to Blacktron, all kinds of stuff, So if it was hard already by this point to make that stuff, it's more difficult even now to continue with that in some way. And I guess, you can still argue canon and things like that. That was another thing that held me back from more brick theory crafting. How was I going to establish a canon? Or was I going to at all? Some of it, I was like, yeah, it's kind of hard to see where things overlap, and I don't want to have a video put out where I say one thing, and then the other video I dismiss it entirely, or, it's no longer credible, or something. It's like, I'd like all of it to go together at some point, but I know that's very difficult to pull off. I'm not even sure with other channels, like Super Carlin Brothers, if, all the different theories that they've had for different media and franchises all work in the same aspect with each other. Maybe some work together, but who knows? I'm just using them as a guide. Those are the minifigures in the Crash Through the Wall were other people that were contributing to what was then a Google... What's it called? A Google group? Something like that. It was like a community thing on Google Plus when that was a thing. A separate page to brainstorm ideas, to hopefully get more people invested and interested. And again, mostly trying to work in that collaborative effort, because it's like, there's a lot for me to do on my own, and I would like to get some help with this. And I had one person step up to it, Gold Brick Productions. I very much appreciate their videos, as well as they're still popping. I'm still getting comments from the Chima video. It's fantastic what work he's done and how much it resonates with other people. And it's just pure coincidence that my sig fig and his sig fig look so similar. So yeah, the other people here were some of the earlier contributors to Brick Theory in one way or another. In sig fig form.
Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and welcome back to Brick Theory.
I just got my haircut, it looks like that now.
And related to our own. Today we have a mini theory to help along our long-standing, long-anticipated timeline project, with the goal to include almost
there's quite some glare. I think there was something on my camera, on my lens or something.
Evolution of minifigures. History develops as one nation or movement supersedes another, and in some cases the old is lost as the new paves the way. As we've explored the globe, we found ruins of past civilizations and...
I think I had a script I was reading from, and I just held the camera in front of the computer I was reading the script from. Teleprompter beware.
Began as a part of town in...
I hate those green lines in rendering. No. It could have been better.
1997, and through the waves, salvage teams found ancient treasures as shown in set 6441, Deep Sea Refuge. There's also a few relics, such as the wheel of a ship and a particular...
I think this one was edited through iMovie. Had a lot of things panning and zooming back and forth, because it's like, oh, it's a photo. We got to do something with it. Can't just let it sit still.
Can be found among the treasures in divers, such as a cutlass in 5 diver sets, the Spanish Armada helmet in 6560.
This was thoroughly researched. Like, I went through Bricklink Park inventories, and I'm like cross-referencing things all over the place.
These are jewels used by the themes like Pirates and Castle prior to the 24-facet jewel we know today, released 1 year after the Diver's theme. The proto-jewels, as I'll call them, actually carry us back further, pirate sets had these not in chests, but usually as decorations, such as the throne of King Kahuka, or in barrels instead of chests. But did the islanders discover them, or did they date back further?
There are a
Well,
couple
these
of other
15
channels I
sets or
do
so for
respect
Castle should
in the
answer
LEGO
that
community
one.
that do a
Multiple
lot
castle
of
sets
lore
from
breakdown.
Dragon Masters, Fright Knights,
Bricking Brad
Crusaders,
is a good
and
one,
Knights Kingdom 1
especially when it
include
comes to
the
castle
transparent
stuff.
plates in chests,
And even
decorating
exploring areas that
flags,
I
or
hadn't yet to
topping a
explore.
scepter. There's even a chrome great sword from the castle themes that appears in Divers, but so far it's hard to tell which faction was the sole owner of these treasures. Even when looking through other LEGO material, I can confirm these connections to older themes. For one, the background of the Divers boxes appear to have a shipwreck in the same silhouette as the Skull's Eyes schooner. The LEGO Mania magazine, issue May to June 1997, even suggests the divers have uncovered 12 of Captain Redbeard's ships with artifacts. In issue September-October 1995,
That was a fun one to find.
Captain Redbeard describes obtaining his treasures from ships all over the world, and knowing some castle factions owned boats for transporting soldiers and goods, this seems plausible. It's a brief start, but it's good to
And then
put these
adding my
themes in
own
order
little
and see
visuals
some
to it.
overlap in these artifacts. We'll be sure to cover other LEGO themes that connect to each other in a loose timeline in some other Brick Theory videos in the near future.
So thank you for watching this video. It's good to be back with Brick Theory, and hopefully we'll have more information coming soon.
I am very
Be sure to
optimistic, even
subscribe
though
so you
the
can catch all of that
things are
and
always
ring the bell
changing.
for when it gets uploaded.
And I do
So you're notified
apologize
when the next new
about this
video.
outro.
See you next time with more LEGO videos.
Let's move over to the next Brick Theory. There is something beyond Brick Theory I do want to talk about after this video. I will have to search it up, but still going through like the best of Maniac4Bricks kind of stuff. I could probably go back even further to some stuff that's kind of choppy or short. I don't know how much I would call it best, but make something of it. I'll skip through the intro.
Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and welcome back to another episode of Brick Theory, the show where we look into the stories and structure of LEGO themes and how the LEGO world can relate to our very own. In the LEGO manual for the LEGO Alpha Team game on Game Boy Color, Ogle is described as being the arch nemesis of Dirk Brick and the LEGO Alpha Team. But who in the world is Dirk Brick? He is never mentioned anywhere else in the manual, nor in the video game or its PC counterpart, and not mentioned in any of the 2001 LEGO sets. I've searched for hours online trying to find any crumb of Dirk Brick mentioned anywhere else, and nothing has turned up.
I remember when I was coming up with this theory, it was literally because I was cleaning out some of my LEGO room and read through an instruction manual for the Game Boy Color version of Alpha Team. And that's when I found that line in there about Dirk Brick in the instructions. Basically, just giving a little more of the story and characters of the theme. That made me wonder, what does that mean? And I was pouring through research. This was like months upon months before the video was even in production. And I probably have video of it somewhere of like that discovery, like to timestamp, like when I was starting to do this. And then things got in the way, so it took a while before I could actually get the video out.
I would love to speak with a developer from Digital Domain who came up with the idea of LEGO Alpha Team as a LEGO theme to get clarity, but until I have some influence or communication, all I can do is speculate from other observations. I've come up with a few possibilities for who Dirk Brick is. Number 1. Dirk Brick is the former name of Dash Justice, the Alpha Team leader. Considering Dirk
This was
Brick
actually a
is
fun one to
referred
edit through
separately from the LEGO Alpha
iMovie.
Team, he could be the lead
And
Dash, who
I don't have a
has also been
MacBook right now
referenced
that could
separate
run
from the
iMovie,
Alpha
so
members. Maybe he was a working
I
name
can't
before
do it
the
the same exact way again.
finally had, as Dash means about running, he's a motions expert, you get the idea. Number 2. Dirk Brick is the name of an agent prior to LEGO Alpha Team, or in its previous state called LEGO Logic or Tilt. The instruction manual uses an older render of Dash and Radia, which can also lend itself to the first theory, but can also show this from an earlier stage of the game's development. And
This render specifically is on the LEGO PC cover of the game, which, or like that like fold out insert from the cover. Like when you get the big box version of the PC game, the cover can fold out, has more description about the game, the characters, and things like that. They did that for a whole bunch of Lego games back then, and if I still had those boxes, I'd be happy. But I don't think I have as many of those boxes anymore. Some of them are in storage, though.
Perhaps a story Bible. Of the characters in LEGO Logic, 3 of the 5 main characters were named. There was a chef, a gymnast named Flip, a magician, a mad scientist named Dr. Pogo, and a marching band musician named Major Minor, as well as an unnamed cowboy at one point in development, so the name could have belonged to one of those unnamed characters. However, the name doesn't lend itself to anyone's style or talent as the confirmed names do, so this one's up in the air. Number 3. Dirk Brick is retroactively the name of a spy from the collectible minifigure Series 16. In Series 16 of CMFs, there is a spy minifigure whose bio suggests, quote, almost nothing is known about his identity or past, unquote, and only nicknamed as Agent A. He does have a retcon connecting him to several LEGO themes.
Yeah, I saw a lot of screenshotting.
Agents and Galaxy Squad. Quote, his first recorded mission on file was for the organization known as Alpha Team, when he triggered a mind control orb self-destruct program that toppled the evil Ogle's latest scheme for world domination and freed his brainwashed skeleton drone minions. There's a full bio in the link in the description as long as it's available on the LEGO website. His timeline also refers to the Zed incident, which ties back to Alpha Team as well, since Zed is the only minifigure to date non-licensed to carry that name from the LEGO Alpha Team line. Is Spy supposed to be the retcon of the name Dirk Brick? Not likely, but the headcanon could fit for that. So let me know in the comments below if any of these speculations sound the most plausible to you, or if you have another observation and maybe some other theory that I haven't explored. I do find this to be kind of interesting because I just looked up the instruction manual for just a small detail and then finding this as its own rabbit hole.
Even when I had this as a script, I still had some off-the-cuff narration at the end. That's just what I do, I guess.
Radia and Dash prior to their set releases. But it's always fun to speculate about these things and see if there's more that we can connect in the LEGO world. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again real soon.
It was a fun video. Now there's another video in here that really blew up. Let me see. Lost media. Yep. So I remember making this video while I was still in college. I remember sitting in one of my classrooms, like after class had gone out. It was kind of an echoey classroom. I already had the script recorded, and I was just like, okay, I just need a quiet place to record this. And I kind of sat near the corner so it wouldn't be too echoey, but it's still enough that's like, okay, I can record this now, and then I could bring it somewhere else, and I can edit it throughout the day, and hopefully get it out shortly after. I think it still took a little while from that. I don't remember exactly how long, but this was a fun video to research, and I have been asked once or twice by other people to collaborate for a part 2, and then things didn't work out, weren't able to coordinate with each other, so then the part 2 never happened. I do have some other research that I would like to make a part 2 of sorts, but don't know if I have 5 of them necessarily, so I don't know if I could say 5 more, you know? And the title of Brick Trivia, again, I think I'm going to start a new series, but it only becomes one episode kind of thing.
Products are everywhere. From toys and games to clothing and silverware, it's easy to find LEGO merchandise wherever you go. Not to mention several theatrical and direct-to-DVD movies and TV shows.
And with so much LEGO media going around for decades, you'd think we'd seen it all, right? Wrong! There's actually so much that some of it is overlooked by fans and retailers alike and gets harder to find every passing year. Hello everybody,
Again, another case of a visual that was supposed to be rendered properly, but then I was just given a whole big thing of green.
This is Maniac4Bricks, and I'd like to share
Not the
5
green I
pieces
wanted to
of
do.
lost LEGO media. Hopefully we can find some by sharing this video around, or at least having fun learning more about our favorite building toy. From 1979 to 1989, LEGO produced sets for a juniorized animal-themed series known as Fabuland. In its final years of 1987 to 1988, a television program aired in the British and Canadian channels known as Edward and Friends, marking it the first LEGO TV show. Animated with stop motion and combining clay and LEGO bricks, Edward and Friends ran 20 episodes at about 5 minutes each, and even some had home releases on VHS. However, there are 2 episodes listed as lost media that never made it to tape: Christmas in Fabuland as a holiday special, and A Trust to Nature as an Earth Day-centric episode. However, the story of Christmas in Fabuland isn't entirely lost, as it is one of the 7 books published by Ladybird Books Inc. recounting episodes of the TV show. The only people who may have the video of this episode are the LEGO Group, the original animation company Funfair, or its current owners, or any viewers who recorded it on their VCRs during the original listing. Still in the TV realm for our next entry, and this is a clear case of I never knew this existed while researching for this video.
Yeah, I had to watch that in there because it's a catchphrase I've been trying to keep with the channel and trying to find some ways of like still, you know, using it in videos. I've used it on, you know, various occasions, but like if I'm using it for something scripted, it's like, how do I write that in there? But I do like the phrase, I never knew that existed.
1998, Cartoon Network in the UK aired 9 episodes of a LEGO miniseries centered around the Adventurers theme. It was even advertised in the LEGO Club magazine, beginning on March 23rd and having a new episode airing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, with Sundays wrapping up all the episodes in one omnibus clip. The names in the advertisement are different to what we know globally nowadays, such as Johnny Thunder changed to Sam Grant, Baron Von Baron into Evil Eye, and Sam Sinister as Lizard Boots. But believe me, the naming confusion has only just begun.
I was planning on a Brick Theory around this time, probably even before this video was conceived, about the naming convention of adventurers and trying to make sense of, especially the Sam Sinister, Lord Sam Sinister, you know, Baron Von Baron debacle. But even to a lesser extent, other ones like Johnny Thunder, Sam Grant, Joe Freeman, or Pippin Reed, Gale Storm, that kind of stuff.
While there's more information from 2 accounts in the subreddit Lost Films, nothing has been updated in the search in about 2 years. Maybe we find those tapes someday before the film expires. During the early years of LEGO Media International, there were all kinds of video games crossing over LEGO themes with each other. But one of the more popular subjects before the advent of TT Games styled action platformers was racing games. While most LEGO Racers and Drone Racers games were released on consoles, there was one released exclusively on BlackBerry phones in 2007. Developed by Kaloo and published by Hands on Mobile, the game consisted of 5 playable characters in 15 tracks across 5 worlds, similar to other LEGO racing games. The software hasn't been converted to any other devices, so the only footage we have are screenshots and a trailer for the game.
Unfortunately, this trailer was somehow zoomed in from what it was originally, its original resolution. So when I edit this video, it's like, oh, it's chopping a bit of this, but it's still kind of there? I don't know.
Somebody has a BlackBerry from around 2007 that downloaded the game, we may never get to play this GB Racer again. Let's hope LEGO Portal Racers doesn't meet the same fate, as people barely talk about it as a Windows exclusive using Intel RealSense technology as a sort of...
I don't even know if Portal Racers exists. And 2K Drive is the next in LEGO racing games, at least, you know, currently. Out of curiosity, in the middle of this video, I'm gonna diatribe here. LEGO Portal Racers. How confusing is it going to be to find that? 2023? 2023. And Media Archive 2020. I had talked about it 2019. Portal Racers concept art. Oh, it doesn't look sketchy at all. That's better. Web. Add a date. November 18th, 2020. So after I put up my video. But I don't know if it still exists. Okay, well, at least we got screenshots. And there is footage on YouTube as well. I was an art lead and game designer working on collaboration with LEGO and Intel to create an augmented reality game utilizing Medeo's proprietary software and Intel's RealSense camera. My responsibilities included working closely with LEGO designers, Meteo developers, and Intel engineers creating concept art, 3D models, and textures of an in-game asset such as characters, vehicles, props, obstacles, and environments. Additionally, I storyboarded some game loops and menu flows along with generating an all in-game UI assets and menu. Okay, so this is on somebody's resume, it seems. There are some interesting ones that people put down on LEGO on their resumes for like LEGO projects more obscure or never fully developed. And I've been able to find some nuggets of information because of that. So this is cool. But yeah, true to the point, this game is pretty much hard to play or unplayable by now because it's like, originally it was developed for some really specific technology that not every computer owner is going to have available.
Since we just talked about LEGO racing games, I'd like to give a small entry here to two specific ports, LEGO Stunt Rally on PlayStation 1 and LEGO Drone Racers on Xbox Original. Both of them have box art online, and other ports of Stunt Rally advertise the PlayStation version, but I've never seen it out in the wild claiming that it existed. It's possible that both were cancelled prior to their release, but nothing has been officially stated to be the case.
I think PlayStation Stunt Rally was described somewhere as being canceled, and maybe I saw that after this video came out or something. I don't remember exactly. But I don't even know if the ISO or, you know, the ROM, I should say, still exists for the game, you know, in someone's hard drive to be playable somewhere. That would be cool if it was available to still play what, you know, early demo of it there was. Bionicle Legends of Mana Nui was very much the same way. You know, in development, got canceled, and somewhat revived many years later.
On the plus side, both of these games can be played on PC and several Nintendo consoles and handhelds. Our last entry for today is one I have to question about LEGO's involvement. But in 1995, there was a Russian game show on television that featured LEGO products for challenges and prizes. So basically LEGO Masters 20 years ahead of its time. The show, known as LEGO Go, was available from...
So yeah, I did not know how to pronounce it, and I used Google Translate to type it in and then play a clip of trying to say it and then record that clip and then put that into this video. Because I was like, I don't want to pronounce it wrong, and I'm just going off of what Google Translate, attempts to pronounce it.
From the
Canal.
and has many episodes missing from its 3-year span. Only a handful of episodes were found, even ones from the rebranded version in the 2000s called
KB LegoNet.
However, the possibility of finding home recordings of these is slim. VHS tapes at that time were reportedly expensive in Russia, and reruns of television programs were a rarity. So if you saw it once on television, that might have been its only broadcast. And more so, the episodes didn't have production numbers when they aired. So you'd have a lot more work trying to archive them and determining what episodes were missing just by the dates of the home tapes that do exist. So if you would like to watch any of the found episodes, they are available now on YouTube.
I hope they're still available, because I haven't even watched them. I've saved a playlist with them on it, but I don't think I've watched the episodes entirely yet.
Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you know more about these lost LEGO media, leave a comment down below. Hopefully we can get more of these lost media uncovered and documented by sharing this video around. Remember to like the video if you want to see more LEGO trivia videos, and subscribe and bell so you know when the next one appears. We'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.
Keep in mind, I don't do that stuff. I almost never go to that point of like, oh, comment below what you think and like and subscribe. And I don't put myself out there like that, But sometimes I feel like, hey, I did good enough and I put a lot of effort into this video. Might as well. There's another, I called it LEGO trivia later, but similar
Find your
concept.
sweet escape with one of Wawa's pineapple drinks today. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hey, so what if we have questions about our policy?
And what if it's late at night?
And what if someone still calls us mom for everything?
At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs. Hey, Mom.
Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and in the recent unveiling of the LEGO wooden duck being available from the LEGO house exclusively in Denmark, I thought this was...
So funny enough, this video was finally published a little while later than the Wooden Duck's release from the LEGO house. I do have it. I haven't built it yet, but I do have it. And I don't know if I'm gonna get like the pirate next or something. That's another LEGO house exclusive. But it still had this in mind, like when the news broke. I was like, oh, I want to do this video. And I've also wanted to do a part 2 to this where I found more references and even theoretical references. Where it's like, it kind of similar to it, but I don't know if it's confirmed as a reference.
Be a good time to share about every single time that the LEGO wooden duck has been brought up in various products. For those who don't know, the wooden duck is a very iconic symbol of the vintage era of LEGO. Before they made toys in plastic, they were making a lot of them hand-painted and handcrafted in wooden form. Many of them were sold, and the wooden duck is one of the most iconic and one of the more successful ones during that era. So for this video, I'm going to go over every reference to the LEGO duck that's been shown in LEGO sets, and even a few exclusive products over the years. If you'd like to see more LEGO trivia videos, be sure to like the video and subscribe. And now, let's get on to our references. The LEGO wooden duck was crafted in 1935 and became one of the most popular wooden products LEGO released.
Another case of editing on the go.
Pull toys featuring a moving bill as the duck rolled along the floor. There are many kinds of LEGO wooden ducks due to their hand painting and color variants, but the one most remembered is the green and red duck resembling a mallard. Since 2008, employees that work from LEGO retail brand stores to LEGO corporate offices
I think I actually
would
did some of
receive
this on
an annual
iMovie
gift
too.
set for the holiday
Even
season.
the panning.
In 2011, LEGO employees received a brick-built version of the wooden duck, complete with a string and a booklet documenting the early history of the company. The LEGO City 2014 Advent Calendar may seem standard, but Day 12 reveals another wooden duck reference, this time as a miniature toy for minifigures to play with. This version also includes a remote control instead of a pull string. The Simpsons had a special crossover episode with LEGO in 2014 titled Brick Like Me. The episode was chock full of Easter eggs.
This literally is a joke because I put in the Chihuahua animation of steamed hams. It looks so much like Brick Like Me, though, that I thought it would be funny to be like, it's in there, it's credited, but also it's, you know, if you know, you know, kind of thing.
For inquisitive LEGO fans, but even I at first missed the wooden duck appearance in the First Church of Springfield, which can be seen here in a circular stained glass window. In 2015, shortly before the launch of LEGO Nexo Nights, there was a private event held at the Flatiron LEGO store in New York known as the Apple Hunt.
This was a random niche blog entry that I found in my research. I am surprised this is the only case of it ever being published, and especially because you can see there's a whole bunch of them. It's like, who had these other ones? Why didn't they put it online? You know?
Participants received several promotional sets, including a miniature wooden duck in a tin case. Thank you to Claiborne for sharing about this event on his blog, or we have never known about this special item. From 2017's Inside Tour and released in shop in 2018 comes the LEGO Tree of Creativity. This model is based on the real-life LEGO sculpture in the LEGO house in Denmark. Embedded into the tree is the wooden duck as if it was carved. 2018 also unveiled 2 more wooden ducks in LEGO sets. Mission to Mars is one of several classic sets encouraging creativity over a mass of colors and shapes of pieces. Among the inspirational models in the instructions is a pair of ducks that can be bolted by a string. The first one is our very own iconic wooden duck.
Yeah, that one escaped me for a while. I've actually thought about, if I don't, like some of these, I'm like, okay, I don't have to necessarily own the original thing. It would be nice if I had the Apple one, but, you know, it's not pivotal of me to have the tin can or whatever. But I have actually wanted to build all of the wooden ducks that LEGO has built over the years. And the ones after this video that I've found. Even if I don't have the full set.
The second reference was released exclusively in Singapore, one of many models commemorating the 60th anniversary of the automatic binding brick. While we are in the Eastern Hemisphere, I'd also like to point out this gigantic wooden duck model built in LEGO bricks that resides in the certified LEGO store in Causeway Bay, Times Square, Hong Kong. The model is measured 2.4 meters long, or about 7.5 feet. That's a photo op in LEGO I wouldn't want to miss.
If I saw that thing in person, I'd so love to have photos with it.
In 2019, to celebrate the 60th anniversary, LEGO partnered with Bricklink to create several fan-designed models for a limited time release. Within the LEGO Story vignette set, there is a miniature wooden duck sitting on the shelf of our carpenter friend, Ole Kurt Christiansen.
There's also a chance LEGO snuck in another wooden duck reference in the 2019 employee gift set, despite featuring Star Wars. There is a duck element and a skate element included in the HUD as Santa's workshop. Yoda is even shown assembling the two, similar to the wooden duck. Let me know if you think if this one counts.
That was meant to be whispery, but almost comes off a little creepy.
And all of that brings us to the 2020 LEGO House exclusive wooden duck, which implements that bill moving mechanism with LEGO pieces as it rolls around. A novel upgrade for a historic product. There's also a display stand that goes along with this model.
So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to see more LEGO trivia from me, where I love to explore all kinds of history and obscure products from LEGO, you can check out more in the description down below, as well as liking and subscribing. I'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.
That was a fun one too. It wasn't too hard to put together, and again, still need to make some improvement on it. It's just I have to rewrite a bunch of the script. Maybe tweak a little bit of the wording here and there. Obviously adding in more duck references. Our Tour World, that's another good channel. They uploaded something today, actually. What other video did I want to go to? I could go to the Weekly Fact of Lego video, which was only for one installment. It was supposed to be another one. I was going to go on Brick Theory. It didn't happen. I didn't complete it. And by now, I don't know if it needs a massive upgrade.
Hello everyone.
everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks. I'm here today with your
What is
weekly
his
fact
voice?
of Lego. What's that you say?
Oh,
Well, Weekly
boy.
Fact of Lego is a new series on Maniac4Bricks in which I discuss unique facts about Lego toys and Lego history.
Oh, this
So
is
these
like
will
when
be
Jane Bricks
facts
makes
about
fun of
how
the
many bricks it takes to orbit the
voice he
Earth,
used to have on
a
videos.
history and lesson in Lego's wooden beginnings. You've all heard those stories before. Instead, we're looking deep into the bins of pieces and figures that make the sets and themes. Recently, I made a trip to New York to see the Christmas displays in and
Oh,
around
and then the
Times
audio is
Square.
just
The trip
overriding
was
it
on the
so
same day
badly.
as SantaCon, a day in mid-December in which people dress up in...
Video reminds me of when. This reminds me of when will the video about the Lego themed lighter drop? That's right. Yeah, I worked on that earlier this year. I did have a YouTube short, and I think I posted on Instagram, TikTok, and other places. So technically, there is already a video out there about the Lego themed lighter. It's just like I don't have a lot of other information beyond that video to describe it. So it was kind of hard for me to make a more fledged video when the research only led me to some point. There was only a theory as to where it could have come from beyond what I had researched, but nothing solidified. It's mostly, oh, this is somebody I also know that looks into Lego history, so maybe they have a point, but nothing confirmed it. Or nothing extremely confirmed it, I should say.
holiday outfits like...
Actually, I'm gonna hop over here. I'll go to that video while I have the question in mind. I also was gonna fluff up the video a bit further and talk about how Lego has mentioned smoking in other forms aside from a Lego, themed lighter or other lighter smoking products. They've actually had cigarettes in visual form in Lego sets, mostly of like, here's a gas station, and then with a big no smoking sign on it, just so you don't blow up the gas station kind of thing, I think I called it like most expensive. My most expensive Lego set purchased 2018? I'm not even sure what this one is, but I've definitely topped this. Did I upload it to here? I thought I did. Maybe it's good through shorts. I'm not sure. It was from April 1st, 2023. I uploaded a video about it. Don't know if it'll bring that up in here. Might have to scroll back for it. Yep, there we go.
Every so often, somebody will ask me, what is the rarest or what is the most expensive Lego item that you own? And usually it doesn't go that far, but this one set a whole new level that I don't want to get to again. On eBay, I'm looking at the evil invoice, 2000.
I did not mean to say evil, but that just so happened to slip up, and I think that's actually really funny.
$669.89 after shipping, and it was $2,500 before the shipping. This is the Lego lighter from 1970s. This is a metal lighter that actually does have a flame, actually does use butane fuel, has a leather wrapping around it, has a Lego logo on one side, and is made by Rowenta. I don't know much beyond this, but I'm assuming that this was an employee exclusive gift. It does still work to this day. I did actually get to refuel it with butane fuel. And also has a disc on the front of it to change the height of the flame. And I'm kind of ashamed that I have this thing. I had a fiasco with eBay and PayPal where I was basically forced to buy this thing. So that's why I own this. If you see me kind of struggling for the past month and probably beyond, this is why.
Yeah, that was as genuine as I could be about that kind of thing. I'm not going to hide the fact that, oh my gosh, I have this super rare exclusive Lego item. It's super duper expensive. It's like, no, this was a mistake. I did want to own this thing, but I did not want to, you know, pay up that much for it. Originally, it was going to be like on almost like an installment plan, like every so often pay, you know, for whatever. And it didn't work. PayPal actually declined it, and then eBay said, well, you still gotta pay for this thing. And I'm like, I gotta throw it all out at once, huh? I didn't want to. And, you know, working my way back from that. But publishing it on April Fool's Day, mostly pure coincidence. Want to find, like, the shortest Lego haul or something that I... Quickest Lego haul? Fastest? There was a really funny Lego haul that I made. World's fastest Lego haul. That's it. Yep. I found it. This one was really funny to create all of a sudden.
Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks. Let's cut the chit chat and get right to the packages. Up first, Nerf binoculars. Up next from Amazon, we've got a hammer. And last but not least, swords. And yesterday from Facebook Marketplace, I got the Toys R Us truck. So remember, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with more Lego videos. Hello everybody,
So that was a fun video. And it just used a meme at the end that I've just known for a while before that point. So I was just like, yeah, it's a fun way to wrap up the video. Just explosion, credits, you know, sappy music. Go for it. That was fun. Okay. This was actually a funny thumbnail to make just because it's like, oh wow, I could just throw money into the thumbnail. But whatever. So I should look back here for what was the most expensive item up to this point. Because, like I said,
video
definitely was more... I think this was the original Star Destroyer, if I remember correctly.
With and kind of like aim your blast.
Give me a sec. Sometimes it works better if I just go over here.
For now, this is going to be, hey, it just came in. I'm going to talk about it because I'm actually excited about this stuff. Even though this is 2007.
This is a fun one. I still haven't opened the Brickmaster welcome kit. I'd like to, and I'd like to do footage with it. You know, like unboxing, like, oh, maybe nobody's opened this before. Here's what components are inside. You know? But until I'm ready for that, I have this one in storage.
To get this sealed, basically best all it, and this is a whole sticker sheet for.
The sticker sheet is around somewhere, probably still with the cardboard with it, but yeah, I did get this literally just for one sticker that says Lego Island, and I still have to apply it to a tile piece. All right, there we go.
I said, hey, I'll look out for you if I find that. Anyway.
Yep, this was the UCS Star Destroyer. I know it exactly from what I said.
You know, big heavy bags of Lego pieces and a lot of gray. Is it Star Wars? Yes, it is, and it is currently the largest Lego purchase of a single set I've ever done, retail or online. And I say of a single purchase because I've had, you know, like more than like hundreds of dollars of Lego purchase before for a haul video, but that was with multiple sets. Or like Ninjago City used to be like the crowning jewel of like, I think it was $330, but that was after sales tax, and that was in the stores. This is a little more than that.
This is like over 400.
Oh my gosh, I can't even get over the fact that this is a huge instruction booklet.
And even with that, it wasn't it had pieces missing to it. And major pieces. Those like thrusters in the back of it, all three were missing, and they cost like 45 plus each.
The Imperial Star Destroyer 10030.
So yeah, that's what that was about. That whole 10-minute spiel. Let's see. We'll go back to the Santa figure video.
Still brought my holiday cheer to the city with a simple Santa hat. The reason why I tell you this story is because seeing so many Santas in one place made me think, how many Santas are in Lego form? How many variants of costumes have resemblance to the old Saint Nick? Today we'll discover the various Santa minifigures over the years from Lego. A minifigure serves...
You could say that this was the prototype of Lego trivia videos that I've created.
On Brickset.com gave me a handy list to start from. Within its database, there have been 21 minifigures in relation to Santa Claus.
This list is outdated, by the way, because it was years and years ago, so with more Santas every year, it's, you know, a lot more to count.
The earliest Santa was from 1995, not from an advent calendar, but from a polybag. Set number 1807, Santa Claus and Sleigh. After this release, variants of Santa had a similar makeup of a red torso, red pirate's hat, and a white wizard beard. The pants color and face would change from year to year. On average, Santa had red legs and a standard grin face, kinda like my sig fig. But there are several drastic examples of Santa minifigures, especially in more recent years.
I don't even know why I included this in there if it doesn't really count.
Collectible Minifigure Series 8 introduced a new form of a Santa hat and a beard that would subsequently be used in...
Well, actually the beard already existed with previous figure, but whatever.
Lego Santa minifigures from Lego City Advent Calendars. The new Santa hat was even donned on a clone trooper in the 2014 Star Wars Advent Calendar. Speaking of Star Wars, every Star Wars Advent Calendar to date has included a popular Star Wars character in a Santa outfit. Since 2011, Santa variants existed for Yoda, Darth Maul, or as I like to call Maul Santa, Jango Fett, Darth Vader, and C-3PO. Did you know, however, that one drastic variant of Santa was in a shower? Yes, in the 2010 City Advent Calendar, Santa was included in a door with a shower mini build. But don't worry, a regular Santa minifigure with clothes was also in the same set.
So that's like one of the few, if not only, Santa sets that includes more than one Santa Lego minifigure, and because one of them was in a shower. I don't know why they did that. There were some parents angry about that, some controversy about it, but not enough to repeal it. It still was sold. I had 2 copies of it at one time, and I think I still have a copy.
Santa was also featured in sets like the Santa's Workshop, or even VIP exclusive things, or little shop-at-home exclusive things, like Santa's Visit from this year. But other than minifigures, there are a few other holiday figures that have been released in sets. In the Friends Advent Calendars, the mini dolls in each year had a special holiday variant, usually 2 per year, such as Christina, Olivia, Stephanie, Lily, Ewa, Mia, Andrea, and Lisa. Max and Sandy from the Brief Creators line also had holiday outfits in the 2001 Advent Calendar set 4124. There are a few Advent Calendars that didn't have a Santa minifigure or Santa mini doll. I guess you could say they were years without a Santa Claus? Well, not quite. In the following calendars, Santa was only a brick-built figure, much like the other figures in the calendars. In these years of 2000, 2001, 2003, and 2004. 1998 and 1999 also had brick-built Santas, but they also included a Santa minifigure. Santa in brick-built form has existed in 8 different Advent calendars. Santa made no appearances in the following calendars, mostly due to the nature of these kind of abstract themed calendars. Clickets from 2004 was set number 7575. Belleville from 2007 was set number 7600. Castle, released in 2008, was set number 7929. Pirates was released in 2009, set number 6299, and Kingdoms, released in 2010, 7952. Each of them introduced unique calendar figures from fairies and dogs to skeletons and mermaids, but they didn't tie in that well to the holiday theme. Outside of Advent calendars, Santa is found in about 50 Lego items. In fact, the first incarnation of Santa was a brick-built version in 1977 with the Two Santas set almost 20 years before the first minifigure Santa.
I wonder if that one's supposed to be either they both have their mouths open or really big noses.
There was even a promotional Coca-Cola set called Santa's Truck, featuring a minifigure Santa and a polar bear. Perhaps it's the same Coca-Cola polar bear, or as I like to call him, the Coca-Cola bear, as seen on the commercials. Santa has also been released in a Winter Village set, a keychain, a holiday decoration, a few ornaments and baubles, a few poly bags, and even promotional candy. So he's just been about everywhere. So how many holiday figures are in LEGO? Well, in total there have been about 21 minifigures, 10 mini dolls, 8 brick-built Santas from advent calendars, and countless others from their own sets, and a partridge in a pear tree. So thank you for watching this video, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more weekly facts of LEGO. Also, as I was writing this script, my friend TMX Brick Notes had a LEGO vlog discussing the LEGO Santa minifigures from over the years. So you can check out his video in the link in the description or clicking on the screen.
Yeah, that's funny that it just so happened we worked on the same kind of video at the same time. I could pull up one of my animations. I mean, it's kind of a short one, but a fun one nonetheless. Did I publish that? There's a bunch of short ones because I didn't really animate for too long. I'll start with the best one and then go with other goodish ones. This one got a lot of views. This one was probably one of the earliest that I made, and it's really like 3 frames. There's the opening frame, which is just live action footage, static, and then like 3 pictures of moving an arm up and down, and then live action footage again. Would I redo some of these? Maybe. Oh, this is early. Oh, right. I have to open it separately. But this one is actually with live footage. I just used the audio. The unsteady camera was not intentional. This is from Memorial Day in 2014? 2013. I had a lot of frustration when making this one because the animation program that I was using, the app or whatever, kept crashing and it wouldn't save my file anywhere in between, like photos taken or whatever. So I had to redo the animation several times. And because of that, in that crunch time, doing it literally on Memorial Day, or like the day before or something like that, I just like recycled footage a bunch of times. This was an old version of a Lego town that I created, which had a lot of little lore to it that basically no longer exists with Studside Heights. I don't remember if the town had a name, but there was like a big Lego headquarters, there was like this ocean, and then across from it was this island with a whole different kinds of villains from different Lego themes that would invade every so often, with a secret hideout, little cave and things. It was cool. I don't know why the audio cuts down a volume on that, but it exists. Can't say it's the most accurate of 21 gun salutes, but it was something. It was interesting. But yeah, camera shaky. Yeah, it didn't help with it. I don't think I had a proper way of holding the camera too. This one's kind of basic. Like I said, it's only a couple seconds long. Maybe a little bit of fluff with it. This one was original, and I was proud of this one because I thought it was going to make it into something bigger. Problem was, that bigger thing never happened. It was supposed to be like an action scene, and then I was going to recycle the footage to make into like a skit about, I think, 100 subscribers. It was either 50 or 100 subscribers on YouTube. I was going to do some kind of stop motion where I'm like in a boardroom with a bunch of other people, and we're talking about different ideas of how to celebrate, you know, that milestone. And this was one of the ideas that was going to be, you know, wedged in there as like, let's make an action themed brick film or something like that. And then it just has this little clip.
To 13 hour times 62.
If I can find a way to bring that back in a newer form that doesn't feel so dated, I would. I would love to do something like that. And I could think of some ideas, but a little bit beyond my skill. I think this one I made it work too. When I was running some animation classes at the time. I guess there's supposed to be some kind of slime or something. I'm not entirely sure. Wasn't thought out. I tried to have all of these except for this guy on the end with altering faces, but the visor makes it hard to tell that their faces actually change. I probably could have done, if I had them at the time, I probably would have done a bunch of like trans clear visors, so it's easier to read their faces being different, or zooming in a bit further so you can see them more clearly on screen. Yeah, there are a bunch of lighting issues in the background, of course. That one at the end, that lighting with the camera or with the gunshot, pretty much coincidental. Didn't intend that. That was interesting. This one's a good one, and having the comparison to it back and forth was nice.
Welcome to 13.
Let's skip forward.
Yeah, I like to eat them in one bite.
I did like that animation, though. I like that transition from being a popsicle, having his mouth open, eating the popsicle, so there's only well, it's technically a screwdriver left, but it's just a stick. And then mouth closed. That I like. That I like doing things like that. I actually can't remember the kid's name from that episode. And Arnold, it was hilarious to me of just having him as literally a blockhead to get the like football shape and the hair sticking up. I love that. What else good did I do on the channel? I don't want to go by numbers. I want to go by what I felt good making or something like that. And I'm drawing a blank. What else was good that I made? I've had other projects that I've wanted to make. I can't really count those because they don't exist. Or at least, you know, aren't all finished. I've made other brick theories. That's fair. But I'm not going to go through every single brick theory video. There's like the Tiger Shark Attack review astounds me, and I want to redo a review for it because it's like there's so much wrong with it. And yet somehow it's still got like incredible amount of views. I don't know why. I don't know how. And I would love to upgrade the reviewing aspect in general. especially after watching people like R.R. Slugger or Trick Bricks. I really like their styles, and I don't think I'm going to do exactly what they do, but I like how informative yet concise they can be in their videos. And I definitely drag on details. So having a script will definitely help, you know, keep it clean. Trying to remember what else. I'm like cycling it through my head. I can think of some that are like, they have a couple funny skits, but I wouldn't say the whole video is polished. Something like that. Bionicle merch. Bionicle disc. Well, that was a fun one. And it's sitting right above me. I will say the Bionicle mask wall videos, they're pretty quick and dirty to make, but also they feel clean. They could still use a bit more tweaking, but I am improving a bit on that every video, so I am happy with those. Roundabout Bricks, they were good, but I don't think they would last if I kept doing them nowadays. And if anything, it was basically a substitute for reviews, just to get like a new product shown quickly, and I don't know if that's really great to do, so I probably wouldn't do that as much anymore. I'm trying to think, what else have I what else could I cover? I thought I had a playlist for it. I have a lot of playlists. Both for LEGO YouTube content, but completely other content. Just other things in general. Like 71 videos of steamed hams, you know? Because that's what I want to watch. And I did. I did a video about that. Welcome to Maniac4Bricks. That one, it doesn't guarantee that I have great videos, but it has stuff to, you know, get an idea. The showroom updates, yo! I forgot about those. Why is this one unlisted? Put that back up on the... Put that back up! I've unlisted a lot of videos, and some of them by accident, and relisted them, but like... They're good. Harmless to solid. And this one, for sure. This was solid. This one had a whole thing planned for it. And I like it. Hold up. Okay, 720p. Okay. Just making sure. It does look kind of dark now, but maybe it's because I have a window behind me, so it's not as visible now. Yeah, you can still see some of it. Most of the display's still there, and I could do with an upgrade on it in general. Just change a couple things around, add other stuff. The lighting would change because they don't have the same color lighting added in the new space for it. But it would still be cool to show in there. I just like the aspect of changing colors for a display like that. I could probably go through the recap videos, because those are well done. Those are nicely edited. This one I liked in its subtlety, but it could have added more. Especially because most of it was boxes. I think I still have that sealed. Although I have gotten the pieces separately to build an open copy of it. I do have the car that goes with that policeman. That one was just fun. I put the minifig with it. The minifig itself doesn't hold value. It's just, oh, it looks like the Carpenter mascot. Which I did a tutorial on that. Just reverse engineering it and then making a whole, like, organized tutorial. That was fun. Yeah, some of the oldest Lego sets I have boxes with. But again, if I did this shelf again now, I would add in some wooden Lego, like the fairy or the Klotzer blocks. Maybe a few more models, you know, indicative of the era. And honestly, I probably didn't have to take that long to go through it. Let's see. I have went through a couple of these videos before. Is that Joey? That's a fun one. Just for, you know, having that clip in there. Even though it's been used before that clip. Yeah, this is definitely gonna need some updating. This is still in storage. The rare dolphin with a factory defect. The Modulex video was another good one I made back then.
This is a 360-piece mechanics tool set from Daytona. The box is chemical and rust-resistant powder.
Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and welcome back to Flashbacks, where we take a look at lesser-known LEGO products. Not always rare, but You never know.
So, Flashbacks was a series that I had picked up and dropped off several times on the channel. I'm basically talking about LEGO history and sometimes trivia based. So I guess that would be the furthest back of sharing LEGO trivia. Some of it would also include my personal history with LEGO or things that I had more obscure or harder to find. Some retail displays, Pinewood Derby car that I made to look like a Lego car, all kinds of stuff. This series would eventually be what Brick Theory, no, not Brick Theory, what Bizarre Lego was written about. So, this series died in order to bring Bizarre Lego to life. And I guess technically, if I made this series again, I would just call it Bizarre Lego. But I've also seen the connotation of Lego or Bizarre Lego used elsewhere. And it's not like a trademark thing, but okay.
Don't worry, we're not going back to the 1990s for weird Lego merchandise. At least for this week. This time we're going back to the 1960s.
I've become self-aware.
The first instances that Lego was used with other businesses in a system known as Modulax. This Lego theme lasted from 1960.
So this setup was my laptop on a cart of some sort, right off frame. There was a camera that was facing right above that was recording me, and I was reading from a script, and then just overlaying visuals to make this. Is it bad? Is it lazy? I don't know. But it kind of worked.
1963 to 1965, before it became its own property. It started out as a way for Godfred Kirk Christiansen to build model houses in a 1-to-1 scale. You see, a standard Lego brick is on
I also had B-roll of
scale,
Lego pieces on a turntable.
than its length or width. Considering this would be useful for architectural companies and town planners, Modulax was well into production. And no, this isn't the same as the first architecture set, which was known as the Hobby and Model Box in 3 different issues. Although it is kind of a nice coincidence, and those were actually used with standard Lego bricks.
That whole background behind me could have used work, of course.
So you can build on a grid scale though. But it is fun to note. Under the M20 system, short name for Modulax, there are unique kinds of pieces that haven't been released yet for today's LEGO system, such as 1x5 bricks. Yes, a 1x5 exists out there. A 2x5 brick, 1x4 bricks with no studs, and more. Even some really weird slopes that may be close to some cheese wedges or 1x3 33-degree slopes, but are actually a bit different in terms of if you actually compare it to a ruler or any kind of...
There's another case of I put improv, well, not improv, but I like speak off of the script to explain something, even though the script was probably concise enough.
Solvent-based glue. Yes, there was actually a time in LEGO history where they encouraged that you glue pieces together. Although this is more for a construction way, not actually just LEGO Master Builder models or anything like that. So, it's okay. It's not crime, so I guess we're okay with that. Some of these pieces even had prints, including numbers and months in English and German. But at some point, the target market of architects declined, and it never fully developed into a market for children. After 1965, the Lego Glue...
Lego Glue. I forgot about that
the Lego
blooper.
Group split Modulax into its own company, removing the Lego logo from their bricks and replacing it with the letter M. So if you ever come back to find those pieces, you'll actually notice the same bricks will have a Lego logo and an M logo on them, meaning they were produced at 2 different times. After the developments of Interior 10 and Exterior 500 in the late 70s, Modulax no longer associated with the Lego brand. But I know what you're thinking. Do Lego fans actually care about this even nowadays? I mean, they're not even compatible with actual Lego pieces in any other sort of system, which are intermingled in terms of comparison. But actually, there is a growing community of them. If you look here and there at LEGO conventions, you'll find at least one person building mocks from Modulax. This small system is often fun to pair with minifigures as a way of them experiencing their own version of LEGO. It's also a cool way to scale buildings with their 1-to-1 brick ratio. I met a woman at Brick Fair, Virginia, 2017,
who told me a lot of the information from this video, and then some. It was through her that I had the opportunity to experience many types of pieces and bring home a sample for this video demonstration. She's a collector of Modulex, and hopefully she finds one copy of every piece someday soon. She and I even discovered some new variants, like pieces with manufacturing errors. And with pounds of Modulex to go through and many different colors, it's gonna be a field day to make sure that everyone is accounted for. There's more and more thing you can do with Modulex pieces outside of an architectural aspect. You can actually use them in a Lego gun. And I'm not even talking about the spring-loaded ones that you see nowadays. I'm not kidding. The first patented Lego product was a wooden toy gun under this name. I can't pronounce this for the life of me. A Modulex artist by the name of Hoovian Art discovered that the flat 1x4 bricks can be used as bullets in the 1945 and 1960 releases of this kid's toy. But with this image spread around, it is accidentally marked on some databases now as a product of Modulex. A big thank you to IstoKG from Brickset Forums for this info. Since then, the LEGO Group has reclaimed rights to Modulex to preserve its history, but they have no plans on bringing back this system, especially as a potential choking hazard for children. However, they still develop architecture sets and business programs such as LEGO Serious Play and Plan Copy. If you come across Modulex, try it out and add it to your collection for a piece of history, literally and figuratively. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I'm very curious how many of you out there have actually tried Modulex before, maybe even collect some, and maybe want to get into it in terms of building mocks. Let me know in the comments down below. I know personally I just have a small collection of them now, and I'm not aiming to get every single piece, because it seems like a bit of a nightmare from what I can tell on some of the images I found online for what all the different pieces are. But I think it would still be fun to collect a bunch more of them and build miniature models out of the Modulex pieces. Well, thank you very much again for watching this video. Be sure to share it. Let me know if you got something out of this in terms of information. I thought this time would be a lot more fun to do a more informative, historical kind of video instead of just showing a wacky different product. I mean, I did, but it seems like a more interesting and informative way of doing it. Also, if you want to participate in a LEGO giveaway that I'm running on my channel, today is the last day for it. September 7th at midnight EST, Eastern Standard Time. This contest will be ending, which was from last week's Flashbacks video. If you want, you can check that out on my channel, learn on there how to enter into the giveaway, and I will draw winners in the following day or two. We'll see you next time with more LEGO videos, and I got a couple more things up my sleeves in terms of oddities from LEGO. Ooh, by the way, before we go...
No, you can be quiet now. I could go over to Game Anecdote, because I made at least one good video there. I said at least. So it should be... This was a compilation of sorts, but it was basically just like, oh, well, I had these separately, and they would be hard to find over time. Even if I have a playlist, there's not many of them, so it doesn't really need a playlist yet. So I put them together in one video.
Jane? The old...
Hello everyone, this is Maniac4Bricks. Every now and then on this channel, I would show a variety of video games that I would collect, or a little bit of gameplay, and sometimes do room tour updates. But now, I'm ready to go into a new area when it comes to video game related videos. Let me introduce you to a new series called Game Anecdote, or Gaming Anecdote, mashing the two words together. Let's begin! Whoa, Mr. Brick Aficionado. I thought this channel was all about LEGO content. Oh, for a majority of it. But I wanted people to know that outside of LEGO, I have a couple of hobbies I keep up with from time to time. In fact, I've actually shown video gameplay on this channel before, and I've even reviewed other toys outside of the LEGO brand. Okay, again. But don't you have other YouTube channels for all that sort of stuff? Yes, but I wouldn't tap into those channels as frequently as I tap into this one when it comes to making video content. So I thought, why not simplify things and just put some of my personal interests together onto one channel and show them every so often? Alright, well, if it allows me, Maniac4Games, to still exist, I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, and what's his name? Our little buddy, Maniac4Toys, over in the corner. Hi guys! I take care of all the other toys and even some of the TV shows and movies that Joey likes. So with that said, let's go on with our first episode of Gaming Dope, a series in which I go through video games and video game franchises from my point of view. Many times these will be retrospective glimpses on the video games that I grew up with, but some may be more documentary style in how the game shaped me as a gamer. And in today's video, we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, right! You've known this blue boy for a long time. I remember your first experiences with the original game on a plug-and-play version of the Sega Genesis. In fact, I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was on that same version. Yeah, most people know about the Sega Does with Nintendo rivalry of the 1990s. But it is true, I grew up starting with the 2D Sonic games, and at the turn of the century was able to get them in multiple platforms. Say, why don't we play them again for all of our lovely viewers out there? I mean, you've honed your craft since you last played, am I right? I don't think we'll have enough time to play all of them on the video. Aw, what's the matter? Afraid of a little water? Quit chemical planting ideas in my head! Ugh. Sorry, everyone. So anyways, I grew up with Nintendo products and usually favored the platforming of Mario games. But my neglect for Sonic changed on the arrival of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It started off with this Nintendo Power magazine showing the fastest thing alive in a new game on the GameCube. I played that game to death with my brother, taking turns on the story mode and competing in the multiplayer. I drew Sonic artwork here and there, and he became so iconic to me. I get it, iconic Sonic. But wasn't there a Sonic Adventure 1? Well, yeah, obviously, but I played it on the director's cut for the GameCube too. Graphically, Sonic Adventure 2 was more advanced. Both are equally digestible in terms of plot and characters, and I still have fun playing them over and over to this day. Especially your favorite level, Security Hall and Cannon's Core. Stop it! By the way, you forgot to mention Big the Cat's ever so loving fishing levels. Don't worry, I'll take it from here. Shortly after, I stumbled upon the official North American website, Sonic Central, and revisited to learn about new games and listen to soundtracks. Yes, I actually liked going through the sound test of Sonic games to listen to the music. How couldn't I? Sonic games always rocked in the soundtrack. And don't get me started on Studiopolis from Sonic Mania. Good music. Yep, they still got it. Yeah, but you don't. Hey. Afterwards, Sonic was on the brain. I woke up Saturday mornings to watch Sonic X on Fox, played through Sonic Heroes with each team, and even got the spin-off titles like Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Riders 1 on opening day. Well, just because I was hyped about these titles doesn't mean I still like them now. The gun mechanic of Shadow the Hedgehog was barely enjoyable, and after every hit annoyingly edgy, and Sonic Riders just had a few daunting cutscenes, and a little bit uncomfortable animation. I can still feel the marks in the palm of my hand from spinning the joystick as fast as possible. After that time, me and Sonic drifted off. I see what you did there. Right. I was usually behind on getting the next gen of consoles or handhelds, and while many games were produced, I didn't really pay attention to them outside of the Nintendo Power articles. And even then, my hype was pretty much gone. Since then, I went back to the older games, but not out of nostalgia, and not just the Adventure series. What are you doing? But mainly because stop Alright, I admit it. I never complete a 2D Sonic game. There, I said it. You happy now? Now the internet knows. Yes, it's true. The 2D side scrollers will always dump on me. Even with Mario, I have a few I can claim I finished. But Sonic games always have the impression of high-paced excitement that takes physics by the horns, right? Unless your name is Maniac4Bricks and you can't jump good. Whether I played it years ago or just before this video, I always hit a wall in playing classic Sonic games. And I don't mean the barrel in Carnival Night Zone either. Yeah. Some of you may remember my old gameplays in which I spent video after video backtracking to where I had a game over. And even then, I barely made progress. And it's not just me. I played Sonic Spinball with...
Nice. Yeah.
my friends, and we were both stumped by the clunky controls and the movement. Ah, thank goodness for YouTube Let's Plays. With Sonic gameplay on Game Grumps and Super Beard Bros, I still found a way to enjoy the radical style of the blue blur without the personal case of Gerard syndrome. That's being stuck in one spot in a game taking tons of lives to pass. So tell me now, how can you make a video about Sonic the Hedgehog when the majority of the games that you own, you've never beaten? I'm not saying it's a bad franchise. I know that there are black sheep and bugs that keep Sonic games consistently fun to play. I don't believe in a perfect Sonic game. But I do also know that at my level as a gamer, despite going into countless platformers, there are very few that I can finish. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are high on my list of favorite Sonic games despite their age, because they're easier to play and explore in my opinion. I haven't mastered them, but in general, I have a good time with them. So what you're saying is you gotta get good with them. Well, yes, but even after his jump into 3D, I still enjoyed the iconography of Sonic the Hedgehog. It was catchy, unique, and admittedly more personality than our Nintendo plumber. That's why I was dedicated to the first few seasons of Sonic X when I was a kid. Heck, I still have the Game Boy Video cartridge that shows the first 2 episodes from the show. There's still a handful of Sonic games I haven't tried yet that I own. Some of which including Sonic Colors and Sonic Gems Collection. And yes, I have played Sonic 06 for those who are wondering, but honestly, I was bored instead of terrified after the first few levels of gameplay. And a lot of loading and cutscenes. Yeah, we get the point. And maybe in the future I'll give those a chance, even Sonic 06, to see how horrible it actually is. With the hype of even watching Sonic Mania gameplay, I can say in my gaming history, Sonic is not dead in the water. Yep, I agree. Sonic's just dead in chemicals and blocks in Sonic 2. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this basically pilot episode of Gamecdote. I still have a couple things in order to work out as far as the editing goes, but I hope you got the concept and are going to enjoy the rest of the series. I don't think every one of these is going to have my doppelgangers in it, but I think it's still fun to try to have that for just some extra entertainment. I'm really looking forward to the next couple of episodes. I already have some scripts underway for them, and they will be airing a little bit later, more towards October. So if you'll bear with me, you'll get to see them at some point later on a more regular basis. Thank you for watching, and let me know of your experiences with Sonic the Hedgehog. Just keep it clean in the comments. Don't try to go after anyone that opposes what you think. Just keep it very nice and clean, as I know it is a controversial thing. We'll see you next time with more videos.
Hey, Sonny! Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I've just been going through the better videos that I've put out over the past 11 years, and I don't think I've hit one of them from this year, although I did give an allusion to, like, oh, the, you know, some of the Bionicle videos I put out were kind of good, but not good enough to rewatch. There actually hasn't been any Q&A, so this has been a lot of video rewatching for the most part. I may or may not have taken a short nap. I like the recap series when that came out in 2017. It was just a fun idea, mostly using the song and a little bit of editing techniques here and there, and I would love to make more like that every year. Technically, I didn't make one for 22 yet, even though we're halfway through 23, so I could use that. Yeah, the stream's going okay. Pretty chill. Wait, that was the year I got my car? 2017? Oh my gosh. And that car just got shoved off to the scrapyard. So I only had 6 years with it, I guess. Because it was, it also contains a little bit of like stuff outside of the LEGO hobby throughout the year, whether or not I had them on video. I'm just doing funny things here and there. You totally can't tell where the line is between these two recordings, right? How have you been? I've seen you streaming. I haven't been able to chat with a bunch of them, but I did watch a few. And doing the commissions. I think I even featured some of these videos earlier. Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I understand. I'd love to do something to help with it.
This is Maniac4 Toys. This is Maniac4 Games. Today, I'm destroying Christmas.
I'm happy with sharing it, though.
Toys R Us World Headquarters.
Thank you.
The Magic Railroad? At some point, I just want to play with toys.
This is a funny one.
I don't want to
Forgot about this one.
on a shelf. I want to move them around. I want to have fun with them.
Building that one on the live stream was fun. Oh, that is heavily outdated. So much more nerf than that. Should make a demo reel and start making editing commission. Well, it's like I can't say every video I've done is like to its full editing potential, though. So, that's why I say these are the highlights. What's up? Okay. Wait, you going off to work again? You have more work? Oh, okay.
I finished the cat already.
Oh, okay.
I'm done with work for the day.
Enjoy the baby. It wouldn't be a live stream without an interruption. But whatever. Toys R Us headquarters. But thank you. Yeah, if anything, I've actually wanted to hire someone to edit videos because I have a lot more ideas, and if I worked a little bit better on the editing process, I would get a lot more videos and a lot better quality of them out. But that doesn't happen. There are literally years and years of ideas that have been on the back burner. This is a fun day trip. Thank you, appreciate it, Zonny. Even for this year, I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, I had some plans for not like a super duper thing for 11 years on YouTube. Last year was supposed to be a bit bigger, but that kind of fell through and couldn't coordinate with certain people to make things happen. Sorry, I had to let that had to let that go through. And I still have a few ideas as to, like, well, beyond this live stream, I'd like to do something special for this year, or just, you know, improving things in general. That just requires a lot of willpower beyond all the regular work I have to do. That was fun at a LEGO convention, just outside dancing. I don't even think they had... I don't even remember if they had music. Like, what else is the music that was playing, though? The Return! And then it's... I still don't have it. And then literally a B-roll for some of these. Oh my gosh, it's so corny. This is only like a few years ago. 3 years ago? I think I have a timestamp in here. Yep, 2019, 2020. I recorded this on a whale watching trip. So, like, I've had footage that's not even in videos that make it into some of these recaps, which is fun. I feel like I've done a Q&A before, and I've actually done Q&As a bunch of times, not even anniversary related. And there were very few questions in order to continue making video with it. So I was like, well, I finished the questions. Nothing else to make about it. It didn't inspire new questions or anything. This is when I had a little bit of a podcast with a big microphone on there. That microphone was never used for video content, by the way. I didn't do that for, like, YouTube or anything. That was its own project. Oh yeah, there's a long list of videos that I could make, and it's just finding the time and motivation in order to make all of them happen. I forgot I had footage from Brick Fair that far back. That was fun. I love shredding on in the Guitar Hero guitar. That was actually really fun to record. I think I did that a few times before making this video with it. This is a little more ambitious for editing, like trying to get everything framed up right for all the photos, you know? That brief appearance of Dan Avidan from Game Grumps. Ah yes, the food testings. It was actually fun doing this 2019 and 2020 in the same video, because then some topics, like, some things just kind of went together better. The face of defeat. That was a fun one. I think I did a few video shots around this area with that view. That was a fun one. And that's it? Wasn't there? should be a recap 2021, right? No? Wait. Did I not do one last year? I mean, not, well, I knew not last year, but the year before? Oh. Well, maybe I could do another double. Like 2021 and 22 could go together. Of course, I'm figuring this halfway through the next year. Meanwhile, other creators are dropping bombshells. Oh, so often, and I wish I could do that. Meanwhile, the last thing I put up a few days ago, yeah. I can't say every video has been like moving from one thing to the next, like improving on what I've done before. That's a much slower process, but I'll still try to keep it in mind. It's like what I said last year's video. Somehow I'm still here, still trying to do this, still having some fun with it. And I guess that's what it's all about. And that's all good. Honestly, that was a good place to stop actually with the recaps. Since we don't have any questions, I don't have any other thing to do here. And other videos I'd like to do, I can't really do on the stream yet. From what I mentioned earlier, I would like to announce something for Bizarre Lego coming up later this month for the restart of the Kickstarter. And I will have more information about that to follow as soon as I can. It's just been one or two things that got in the way recently that makes displaying it at Brick Fair, Virginia, the convention in August, in the first week of August, it makes that a bit difficult. So, still working out some details. Announce that when it's ready, and hopefully I'll catch you then. Make this book happen for once, for reals. Anyways, thank you all once again for 11 years. Hopefully I'll get some other projects underway, and hopefully some better projects. I'm gonna go eat lunch because I'm so tired. I forgot I actually didn't eat lunch. I only ate breakfast. So I'll do that. Late lunch, early dinner, whatever it may be. Talk to you later. Have a good one.